You ready? Let's go. 2 Minute Daily Devo for Wednesday, May 17th. I'm in the New International Reader's Version today, and our verse of the day comes from the book of James, chapter 1, verse 5. Little context here before we get to our verse of the day. James reminds us of this, that in this world we will face trouble. And how do I know that? Because he says it right there in verse 2. You will face all kinds of trouble. That's going to happen. And Jesus said the same thing. He said, let me just tell you right now, in this world you will face trouble. He goes on to say, but don't worry because I have overcome the world. So we have that. But we are going to face trouble in the world, and I think you and I know that. But James says this, when you do, think of it as pure joy. Now, I'm not sure about that one, but that's what he tells us, in that we're supposed to do that, right? It says your faith will be tested, and know that when this happens, it's going to produce strength in you so you can continue. And you must allow strength to finish its work, he says. Then in verse 5, this is our verse of the day. And here's what I want to say. It says this, if any of you needs wisdom, you should ask God for it. He will give it to you. God gives freely to everyone and doesn't find fault. Here's the point of this. We're talking about how we have trouble in this world, and sometimes when you and I have trouble, we tend to look to other places and other people to find the wisdom that we need to get through it. You know, when I have issues, sometimes we're like, we go to other people or we ask ourselves, hey, what can I do to get out of this trouble? When the Bible says clearly that if we need wisdom to get through any issues or problems that we're dealing with, we need to ask God for it. And God is going to give it to us freely. This is not something you have to beg for. It's not something you have to say, dear God, please give me wisdom. No, he says he gives it freely if we will ask. You see, that's the key. We tend to ask other people or go to other places to find that wisdom that we need to get through the problems and troubles and trials and things that we face, when God simply says this, if you ask me, I'll give you the wisdom freely. And who better to ask than the source of all wisdom, right? Who better to ask than the one that created everything, the one that knows exactly how to get through every issue and problem that we face. God is the one that can give us the wisdom that we need to continue through with whatever we're dealing with. So I want to encourage you today, don't go to other people, don't ask yourself. Let's go to God to find that wisdom that we need to get through the issues and troubles that we face in this life. All right, that's it, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.